Hello, foodie fans. Welcome to the Big Food Talk, produced by Tough Monkey Entertainment. I'm your host, Sal Conca. This show supports restaurants, chefs, and food pioneers with your help. Head to bigfoodtalk.com to make your donation today, or check out our fun apparel line with proceeds going directly to participating restaurants. Special thanks to the Long Island Food Council, Dine-LI Facebook group, and Yelp Long Island for supporting this episode. Today I'm speaking with Alyssa, the founder of the Dine-LI Facebook group. Alyssa, along with her team of admins, have built a unique community for restaurant owners and foodies to connect. Listen in to find out how the group has grown to over 13,000 members and how you can make a food donation through their Dine-LI Gives Back program. Please note that as of April 30th, the Dine-LI Give Back program is currently on hold due to lack of funds. If you'd like to find out more, please contact Alyssa at the Dine-LI Facebook group. Hey Alyssa, welcome to the Big Food Talk. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm good. How are you, Sal?
I'm doing really well. I'm so glad you were able to join us here today. You have this great group that you've put together on Facebook called Dine-LI. I was hoping you could tell us more about it. When did you start the group?
I started the group July 26th of 2019.
Cool. And are you doing that? Is it just you, or did you start it with somebody else?
The original crew was me, my mom, Teresa, and my friend Susan. We started it just to kind of give restaurants a voice. We noticed that a lot of the other groups don't, or they, we just kind of want to do something different, or some groups don't allow you to refer friends and family. We wanted to refer friends and family and kind of bring a whole different type of perspective to the food pages.
Yeah, it's definitely a different group in terms of that I've participated in terms of food, right? A lot of them are just food reviews or people sharing recipes or however it goes. And I like that there's a community built around, well, you can get to know the restaurant owner and who's, especially during this time, right? So I think your group proves even more valuable now because now these restaurants have a voice and a place to share their takeout menus and all the other things that are going on.
Yeah, I mean, this pandemic has kind of helped the group grow a little bit. From coming back to, who's part of it with me, I brought on Nivea, who's a Instagram, social media blogger, I guess is the correct word. And then I brought Larry on because, I needed a guy just to kind of make it not all girls. No, but Larry works at A+ Towels and Linens with my mom. So he has a lot of connections to restaurants and he deals with people as well. And, we're a great admin team. We work together. Everyone does their part. With this pandemic, I think it built the admin team stronger because now we kind of see like where everyone's strengths are. So, obviously I have with my full-time job, I have my connections. Nivea has her connections. My mom has her connections. Susan has her connections. Larry has his connections. So now it's kind of like, how we're expanding it more and bringing more people in, and we want restaurants to promote themselves, and I think they're scared to promote themselves because of what other platforms have done to them, and I don't want them to feel that way in my group. I want them to feel like they're welcome and they're part of our family, they're part of our group, and that's kind of what our vision is in terms of Dine-LI and everything.
That's awesome. And yeah, so if any restaurants are listening to this and you're not part of the Dine-LI group, I urge you, please go join and see what's going on in their community right now. So you said you've had some, growth since this pandemic hit and all those sorts of things. How many members are in the Dine-LI group right now?
I think it's 13.5 thousand. There's like a little number, but around that.
Yeah, that's great. That's a significant number. Anytime you hit an audience of over 10,000, I think that becomes significant in anybody's eyes, meaning that you have attention of a significant number of people and you can get message out, which is a great opportunity for these restaurants to be able to do that. So I think we've talked a little bit, but so why did you start the group? What was the thought behind it when you originally started it?
The reason I started the group was, like I said, to give restaurants a voice, and just to be different than the other ones. I've had opportunities to work with other groups out there, And it just never really like came together. So I'm like, all right, I could do this myself and I could build something different and be unique and try to give everyone a different perspective and presence of, the food industry who aren't in the food industry. So not necessarily base it only on reviews, but give them information, give them, who's opening, who's closing, kind of like having customers build relationships with restaurants as well as just going to eat there. Like, it's a good feeling when you go to a restaurant and you can go up to the owner and be like, hey, what's going on? How's everything? Maybe that's just me because I'm in the business, but
Well, let's talk about that. I don't think people know how are you connected to the industry, and I don't know whether or not you can say the company you work for, but what type of role do you have in the restaurant industry?
well, originally, not many people know this. A lot of people do, a lot of people don't. I have a baking business. It's called a Pound and a Half Cookies and Cupcakes. I've been in business 8 years now. Well, actually 8.5 years now I think about it. And that kind of built me around the restaurant industry. And about when I was like 22, I expressed interest in wine and spirits. And it took me a long time to get to where I am. It took me about 4 years to get into where I am right now. I am a sales rep. I deal with restaurants. It's still strictly wine, couple spirits, and yeah, it's kind of how I'm connected to the industry.
Exactly. Yeah, I think what's interesting is the creativity that's come out of some of these restaurants, right? So whether they're selling beer, wine, spirits, sangria, margaritas, some of them are mixing their cocktails and doing like adult Capri Suns, and they're doing things that cocktails in old fashions in a mason jar. So the creativity side of things makes it fun. It gives the people something different, and that they wouldn't have gotten otherwise during this. And listen, let's be realistic. I've spoken to a number of restaurants. A lot of them are not making money. They're just doing this to be able to at least keep the lights on, pay the rent, things like that. They're clearly not making a profit during this time. And it's tough, and they're struggling. And that's why you started something called the Dine-LI Gives Back program. And I know you're helping restaurants help the frontline workers. Can you explain how the Dine-LI Gives Back program works?
Yeah, sure. So, Dine-LI Gives Back. We are obviously just a group. We're not a charity. We're not a 501(c)(3) or anything like that. We're just people who are in a group together, and we're utilizing local restaurants on Long Island, and we're getting requests every day and feeding frontline workers. We're trying specifically to feed the people that are forgotten about. So, like nursing homes, trying to feed police officers, nursing homes, rehab centers, specific hospital units, overnight workers. So we're trying to do something a little bit different than everybody else. Like everyone's kind of going like, just straight hospital, where we want to kind of give the people who deserve, you know, something as well, just so they feel special. And that's kind of what um, differentiates our program to others out there.
Sure, and it's wonderful because I mean, listen, at the end of the day, there's so many people that need help right now. It's very difficult, and a lot of people, it's hard to find donations right now because people are just worried about their own personal jobs and families and things like that. So, like you said yourself, you've taken a personal hit of your own, and it's great that you're still spending your time doing philanthropic work. I got the that was a big word for me to get out at this early in the morning, but I did it. So I think it's really great, and kudos to you and the rest of the admin team that are there. I know Nivea. I haven't met some of the other admins yet, but I just seen what's going on in that group, and the positivity and the giving attitude is what really just makes that group so unique and so special, from the other groups that I've participated in the past as well. So I'm curious about you being involved in the restaurant industry. Are you a foodie? Do you like eating out? You love food?
I do like eating out, but I'm so picky, so I can't consider myself a foodie. I
Oh,
can't.
wow. So what type of cuisine do you crave the most if you dine out?
Um, I mean, obviously, I'm a big steak eater. I like steak. If there's one food I crave all the time, it's French fries. It's very strange, but I love French fries. I can eat French fries like all day, every day. I know, like when Lent started, my first Friday, right before this disaster decided to happen, um, my boyfriend made me all different types of frozen French fries on a platter.
That's cute. That's
Yeah,
great.
no, I just that's what I like. But yeah, I mean, I like going out to eat. I like trying new places. I like to like, go out and kind of like my angle recently is just to help the people who need the help. Like I rather, I've been going to so many great places that I've never even heard of before, and just like, posting, not saying I'm an influencer because that's not who I am. I'm just a normal 26-year-old who just has a group. I helped a lot of people, a lot of businesses just, thrive. And they're, I get texts all the time like, oh, because of your group, like I know I had 10 people come in today from Dine-LI. Like that's awesome. Thank you. And like, that's kind of makes you feel good. It's like, all right, like, we don't get paid for this. It's 100% volunteer. We make zero, nothing on it. It's just fun and interesting and different. And it's good. It makes, it makes you feel good kind of, I guess, doing.
I think so. I mean, I think in all of this, the humility that people have and are going to have after this all, ends and we get back to whatever the new normal is. I don't like all these trendy terms that people use around it, but whenever this ends and we can go back to restaurants, things like that, I mean, it's going to be different. It's going to feel different. And, the fact that you're just doing this to give and all that. I mean, it's the same reason I started this show, right? I mean, the same reason I started this show was to just tell these restaurant stories, and that's, and people like you and other folks in the industry that I'm connected to. So, I think it's important for people to hear the behind the scenes of, just kind of how things work, how they're feeling, how things operate, because I think the average consumer doesn't really understand. They think restaurants are rolling in dough, or that, because they're still selling cocktails now, they're making a killing, like, and it's just not the truth. So, you said you love steak and fries. Is there a particular steak place you have a favorite steak joint you like hitting?
I mean, obviously Peter Luger's. I mean, they're one of the best. I don't know. Like I've eaten so many steaks in so many different places that I don't really have like a favorite. I don't know. I'm like the weirdest person ever. So
I don't think so. I mean, listen, I actually didn't become I don't know, a foodie until my mid to late 20s. I didn't even drink wine. I never drank wine until I was about 30. I hated wine. I only drank like really cheap beer. I guess it was a college thing. And eventually your taste changed. Now I drink bourbon straight, right? So go figure.
yeah, that I can't do yet. I didn't get that far yet.
Yeah, well, my wife never drank at all until she met me, so I've been the bad influence. But now we have red wine at least once or twice a week. We have date night here, and then now she'll even do a little bourbon only if I put it in a hot cocoa for her.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I respect.
So everybody has, like you said, taste change over time and all that. So, so obviously the best way to connect with you is your Facebook group. That's where the bulk of the action happens. But where else can people connect with you? How can they make a contribution? How do they make a donation? How do they get involved with the Give Back program?
So the Give Back program, we're taking donations through Venmo, PayPal, Zelle, and we have a Cheddar Up link. Super easy. I posted on my personal page. I made it public so everyone can see. And you can add me as a friend on Facebook if you want. And you can find it on the group as well. Pretty set and standard. Pretty easy.
Okay. Easy stuff. And we'll include links to all this stuff in our descriptions on YouTube and on the episode page on the bigfoodtalk.com. So people will easily be able to figure out, how to do that and get in touch and make a donation as well. Is there anything else that you feel like people should know about you or the group or anything else that you want to share with the audience before we take off?
I think I want to say thank you to all the DineLI members. We wouldn't be anywhere without you. Thanks to my admin team. They are the best. We all work together so well, and I'm so thankful for all of you. You guys mean the world to me. And to my members, thank you to all who contributed so far. Anything we could do to help you or help someone or someone you need, just, reach out to me. I'm very approachable if you haven't realized that already. And, thank you for keeping the group drama free. I mean, every once in a while, I'm stressed out, like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? But 98% of the time, it's just a chill out group. Like if I could just, if there's days I just stay off the group and, I don't have to worry about it. I don't have that stress on my back, like, oh, like what's going on? And, I thank you all so much for that. Like, I greatly appreciate everything. And Sal, thank you. Like, this is pretty cool, I guess, as my face is, beet red and I'm nervous as hell. But no, like, thank you all. Like, seriously, thank you.
Yeah, well, you did a great job today telling us about your group. I think, it's really from the heart and very sweet sentiment that you have with the group overall, and your admin team is great. I can attest to that firsthand. You guys approve posts quickly. You guys, there is no drama, and it's really all about giving back in that group and really supporting people. And I think what's important is, like you mentioned, if people do need help, and some people are just shy to ask for it, and that group is a safe place, I think, where people, if you're a restaurant owner, if you need help in getting more business, or if you're somebody that needs food and can't find food and you're a frontline worker or need help in that regard, that's a great place. Like, put a message up, just say you need help, or reach out to Alyssa, reach out to me, reach out to the other admins, whoever it is, and just, we can get the conversation started for you. Awesome. Well, thanks, Alyssa, for joining us today. I wish you nothing but the best in the future, and I know we'll keep in touch, of course.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You got it. Take care, Alyssa.
You too. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to The Big Food Talk, produced by Tough Monkey Entertainment. Subscribe on iTunes and wherever you listen to podcasts. Follow us on Instagram for behind-the-scenes takes, or watch complete episodes on YouTube. Don't forget to make a donation at bigfoodtalk.com.